I don't want this to get crossed, but I don't want to. No. Just be careful. Watch out the egg. Sorry. Hey, guys. So I'm not going to be here long tonight because I'm just going to speak to all the different reps and stuff, so I'm not going to be staying for the whole meeting. Hey guys, hope everyone's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be here too long today because we're hoping to get through a really long day tomorrow with a bunch of different meetings. So I'm just going to do the reps. Hey Laura, you rock, girl.
Please raise your hand if you are a board member.
Hey, Fat Grammy. Hey, everybody. Burner, Ricky, Phyllis, Heidi, Adrian, just John. If I'm missing everybody, welcome.
Thank you for being here.
So, hey, Team Kathy, TT, Juana, Stephen, Adrian. How y'all guys doing? Bike guy was sitting up there at the board.
Okay. Hello, everybody on Zoom and in the room. I'm Mr. Martinez. Thank you for being here. For those in the room, there's pizza right there, so please go ahead and take some before it's all gone. All right. I'll call this meeting to order.
Oh, thank you, Laura. That's a sweet thank you. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Thank you.
Christopher Martinez.
President.
Holger Carlisle.
Here.
James Bennett.
Here.
Jeff Blair. Here. William Schultz.
Here.
Oh, hey, Team Kathy.
Here. Doug Haynes.
Hey, Kara. Glad to see my. Hey, Hodges. Dawn.
Doug Haynes.
Hey, Season. Like I said,
Jennifer Lee. Stephanie Hart. Mike Sadler. Here. Vicki Olsen.
Here.
Rosie Barrett.
Here.
Joshua Kirchner.
Not seeing it. Oh, there he is. Stephanie, are you in? Yeah.
I'm here.
Mark Ramsey and Joshua Kirchner.
oh, God, Chiara.
I'm here. This is Josh.
Kathy, you're so funny. Especially with the Scientologist in the room here.
Public comment on non-agenda items. These are for items that are not on this agenda. So anything that's not on this agenda, you are able to speak about. You have a total of 2 minutes. So do we have someone who can count? Okay. We will take one person. We will take the people in the room first, in person, and then we go to Zoom. Okay? All right. Go ahead.
Hi. Good evening. Hi. I don't know the board yet, but do you want me to talk in the microphone?
You don't?
All right. Do I get my time back? Thank you. Okay. I'm ready. I go by Audit LA. That's my activist and media name. And I just want to say, coming here month after month, I want to give a special shout out to Jack and Coulter, and you too, Mr. President. I feel the three of you genuinely care, and I'm not saying anything about any of the rest, I just don't know you yet. But from just interacting, I feel that you guys genuinely care about the community for the right reasons. Not for power, not for any other reason, but for the genuine reasons. And I want to thank Jack for having put us on the agenda at your last committee meeting. And if it wasn't for Josh leaving, we would have maybe been able to get to a vote. We're trying to help this community get certain things done because there's certain abuses within the city system. And it's not that I'm not sitting here to attack Scientology today, but the abusiveness that they are doing with our city, with these endless permits, with them not having a fire lane open for emergency vehicles, even though we've had just 2 earthquakes, which have damaged their building considerably. And that without permit, they are repairing it. Sorry. And it's been continuous. And there's been no help. And Jack did get us onto the agenda to at least say, hey, maybe we can look into it. But Josh, wherever you are, I don't know who Josh is in person. Is he here? He left and broke quorum, so we were not able to vote. And I'm very disappointed because the community is tired of it. They are being harassed by their guards. They are, it's an endless, since June 1st, cannot access, well, we can access, but not without harassment. Because they are lying to the community saying that we do not have the public right to go through there. We do, only cars are prevented, but now they're also doing construction work. They have a construction permit now along with these other permits, so we don't know one day if there's construction or is it a special event. We don't know. It's confusing. And then they have a large crack that's probably about 8 stories high in their smokestack, and and they have a closed fire lane, and they're not allowed. I don't see the city coming in to see what's going on to make sure they're doing it by permit, because we can't find any permits for the repairs. And we want you guys to get involved and help us figure it out. We want the fire lane open. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else in person? No? Okay.
Can I respond?
This is public.
No, this is public comment, not public conversation.
So, unfortunately not, Josh, sorry. Okay? So, basically, for everyone that's with their hands up, I'll go in order from the first person I see.
Thank you, guys.
So I'll go from there, and then everybody else. Again, 2 minutes. We'll stop you if you go past. All right, Tam, you're allowed to talk. Tammy?
Thank you, Nadia. Yeah, I know these rules. I would have voted if they let him say anything.
Craig?
It's actually illegal for them to respond.
Yeah, I was just wondering, since it's being recorded, I was wondering what's the email address to,
Yep.
request, the link, and then after the, meeting tonight, when would it be available to send me the link?
The link for what?
Well, I see that this meeting is being recorded, is it
Oh,
available
yes.
to community members to, receive the link
Mhm.
for the meeting?
Yes.
And then, what is the email address to request the, link to be sent to me?
Basically my personal email. So for everyone in here.
Oh, thank you, Confident Chris Finger. Oh, it's a pleasure to watch you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Appreciate all you guys.
Christopher Martinez, CHRISTOPHER, MARTINEZ @easthollywood.net.
I like the fish flavor.
And then after the event, I send you the request, how long is it before you
Oh,
send me
hey,
the link?
welcome here.
It depends. I do have to
See you.
travel home, so it might be maybe 2-3 hours, but I'll get to it.
Oh, thank you, guys. Hey,
Okay,
gotcha.
all right, that's all I have for now, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, he's trying to break the rules.
All right. Henry, I'll allow you to speak.
Hey, Danny.
Good evening, yes, hello, this is Henry Corrine, are you able to hear me well?
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much, I appreciate you all being in quorum today and holding this event. For those that don't know, this is not my first time here, and I hail from the great state of New York. I will yet again be back in the great state of California, Fountain Avenue on June the 3rd at approximately 7 a.m. Two companies, Mega Structural Inc. and National Ready Mix, tended to operate major construction without a permit, specifically to do foundation repair. And during this time, as I was out there peacefully protesting and exercising my First Amendment right, I confronted the construction workers and I asked whether they had a permit to do the work. They said no, and these construction workers assaulted me as well as issued direct death threats by making a motion to slice my neck off, as well as another protester known as DOA, aka Scott Hockstetter. Now, this is going on in your own backyard, but that's not really the biggest issue per se. You know, death threats and assault is really just things that protesters who dare speak out against Scientology can really expect at this point, because there's not anything being done to actually hold them accountable. But that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is actually that one of the largest vendors that the city of LA is using to procure metals parts, so a giant metal fabricator known as Cody Building Supplies, actually has one of their owners under an investigation of alleged child molestation and rape of a 14-year-old. And this is also one of the biggest suppliers of metals materials to LA City. And I wonder, is that
That is time, unfortunately. That is 2 minutes. Thank you.
Great job, Henry.
Okay, we go to Mona, although you talk.
Hey, Mona.
Good evening, council members. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you can.
Wonderful. Thank you for the time to speak in front of you. Even though we are remote, it always feels like we're at home, huh? So again, talking about Elgin Hubbard Way, I want to reiterate just a little bit about the sidewalk closure and the road closure that's been happening since June 1st on continual permits. And now they have the A permits to make repairs to the sidewalks and the street. And unfortunately, we have seen that they've been using in-house labor, slave labor, if we're honest, because they get paid $50 a week, and they're working on public roads. So I'm sure the unions are not going to be too happy about that, where they're getting paid competitive wages, certified wages, and these people are not. They're basically going out there to do it for slave labor. So we need to look into that. We need to make sure the permit is being enforced. Since the other permits haven't been enforced, they were supposed to remove those planters. There was a directive for them to remove those planters, and they're still there. As of yesterday, they're still there. And the emergency lane is still blocked. God forbid anything happen, and I keep saying that, God forbid anything happen. I yield back my time.
Great job, Mona.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
All
Karen.
right, you already spoke, so I hope, I suggest you lower your hand. So with that, we are done with public comments. What time is this book, right? The time you speak? Here. Okay. Tammy, I hope you got your voice issues correct. I ask you to unmute. Okay, go ahead, Tammy. We still can't hear you, Tammy.
You gave, this is Mona, and you gave me the unmute button.
Yeah, sorry about that one. Tammy? Okay, try to see if you can fix that. Thank you, sorry, we can't hear you. All right, with that, we will go on to community reports. These will be 2 minutes. What, actually, I'll take these out of order. There are a few items here that I think it might be essential for our community report members to hear. For those of you that have been giving community reports before, you know the deal. These are items that I think that it would be to your benefit to hear, maybe you can give more context or if you want to chime in, this is the time as well. We would appreciate your feedback since we do work with the city very closely, a lot of you. So if you could wait a while, we will at least have you listen to one of these items, so that we could quickly then go to committee reports. Okay, with that being said,
Yes, of course.
I will also come back to
You can post anybody's
agenda, and I will come back to that.
Linktree or GoFundMe. Any of the mods can do that.
So, first things first, discussion of the bylaws, we still haven't got enough bylaws, still working on it. Unfortunately, Joel's not here. I don't see him also here in the audio, in the attendees. If Joel, you're in the attendees, please raise your hand. Let me know if you're part of the attendees, Joel. Everyone else, can you lower your hand down? For those that are going to do committee reports, again, I repeat, we'll come back to them. I think there's an item here that will be essential for all of you to hear. So until I start an item, please can you hold your peace for a while? So I just want to see if I can get people that I'm asking for. So we're still working on the agenda, on the bylaws, but the notes there show us what we got and what we have. And if things go well today and the board approves, we will have the full board. So this is great. So not everyone clap at once.
Bravo, thank you. Hold on.
All right, appointment, interview, and possible action on approving Catherine Lindsay to the governing board as at-large F.
Thank you, Karen.
So 5 minutes each show and Q&A from any board members here in person or on
That's
Zoom.
funny, season. That's fine.
All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Lundy. I go with Kat. I am a policy strategist. I moved to the East Hollywood about 2 years ago.
Put your hand up, Kelly, and then tell them what happened.
Immigrant rights organization has an office in Los Angeles in DC, and I decided to hopefully join on to the East Hollywood Council to continue some of that work in my personal capacity. Some of the things that I'd like to work on, or I'm interested in supporting the community with, is expanding language access, having more interpretation or translations for these types of events so that more immigrants in the community can exist as well as attend them and contribute to them. Also, I want to make sure that we are doing what we can to make sure that immigrants have access to the public benefit systems that they are eligible for. California is a very unique state in that it offers a lot of services, even for undocumented individuals who already have a lot of systemic barriers for being able to access healthcare coverage, food nutrition assistance programs, housing programs. So, doing what I can to.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You might need to talk into the.
Yeah, I can't hear you almost at all.
Sorry.
Sorry, I should have told you real soon.
This is all to say I would like to be able to do everything, to make sure that we are doing everything that we can to make sure that immigrants have access to not just this space, but other services that LA can provide for them.
Thank you. Any questions from people in the room? Want to ask your questions or questions to the board? No?
I'll have a question, sure.
Okay.
What property in East Hollywood Neighborhood Council, and how can you find that out?
I'm actually, I'm a very service-oriented person. Before I decided to join East Hollywood Neighborhood Council, I was organizing my workplace union for about 4 years, and I knew as soon as getting that first contract was done, I would have a lot more time on my hands, and I had heard about East Hollywood Neighborhood Council maybe like a year ago, and had attended a couple of meetings, and it just felt like it's the best place to put my energy after the union contract was done.
Bravo, congratulations. That's a heck of a win. Great.
Okay. Anyone else from in person?
Me.
Okay.
Hi, I just wanted to kind of get your views. Oh,
Just
sorry.
a short reminder, we have 5 minutes for Q&A.
Okay, no, I'll be real quick. Just basically, how do you feel? Because like the community does come, there are activists, as you see tonight, that come. And are you okay with that, even if it's for or against what you believe in? What's your views on activism?
tell this council what they want, what they do want, the more we can make better decisions, more informed decisions, and we're not going against what the community wants to do.
Good answer. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
Okay, anyone from the board from the Zoom? The attendees, I see 3 hands up. Are these people for the appointment? Going to allow DOA to talk? Wait, I see a hand up from Josh. I'll come back to you, Josh. Richard, be quick because there's only 4 minutes left.
Laura, I think I got rid of them. Let me know if I didn't.
Okay, DOA, you're now leaving, so you're now allowed to talk.
Mr. President, thank you. I had my hand raised for the general public comment. I didn't feel like this, but I don't believe I can call, sir.
I didn't see your hand up for general public comment. It was too late at that point. I already moved on. But we could come back to it later if you want. Okay.
Thank you, Declare Dave and chats. Declare Dave.
You got it right. I also was skipped in the public comment, but I do have a question. My question is, are you concerned with any of the abuses alleged and documented of the workers that are working for Scientology under the R1 visas?
I'm not as familiar with that topic specifically, but I'm happy to learn more about it and explore that.
Thank you.
Yes. Great job, Yvonne.
Okay. Josh, go ahead.
I'm just, as a fellow union member, very appreciative that you found us, and I'm glad I'm not the new kid anymore. Thank you so much. Excited to have you as part of the board.
Okay. Thank you, Josh. All right. Lauren, with that, we go on. DOA.
Yeah, Susan, I'll do a recap.
One more time. Is there a question?
It's really bad audio down here.
Yeah, I also had my hand up for public comment and was skipped.
Again, I didn't see you at the time. Sorry. Okay. We go on to I move.
I'll second.
Okay, perfect. So let's take this to a vote.
All right, Christopher.
Yes.
DOA, I think they said they're going to come into it again.
Jeff. Yep. Jillian.
I'm going to request it.
Yes.
Coulter.
Yes.
Doug.
Yep.
Jennifer. Jennifer. Stephanie.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Jack, yes. Vicky.
Yes.
Rosie.
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
Back to Jennifer.
Yes.
All right, motion passes.
Okay, perfect. Welcome. Wow. All right. So you can officially now vote on every item that comes up. Except for budget and finance. I mean, budget.
Thanks, guys.
So she can vote on everything except anything in the budget. Jillian, there was a person here that needed to speak, correct? Can you remind me which item it is? I apologize.
It's community reports from Thai CBC
Perfect. All right.
for what we set up. I think we might have just enough time before Chancey has to hop off at 7:30.
Okay, Chancey, I see you. I'll allow you to talk, or do you need to share your screen? I'll allow you to talk first.
No need to share my screen. Let me see if I could open up the camera. Can you hear me?
Let me make you a panelist then in that case.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Hopefully I still have my 2 minutes after all the technical work on this.
No
Okay.
problem. I'll let you go. I'll restart your time. Okay.
Okay, now you can see. Okay, great.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chancellor Martrell, Executive Director of Thai Community Development Center. I'm very happy to be here tonight at the East Hollywood Neighborhood Council. A council very familiar with from the earlier days when it first began. Our former board member was sort of the person behind the founding, also East Hollywood Neighborhood Council. Some of you may know Thai Community Development Center and may not, but we're very active in the community. We founded Thai Town back in 1999, but our organization has been around since 1994, engaging in affordable housing development, small business development, neighborhood revitalization, immigrant rights, workers' rights, human rights. So happy to meet one of your new board members who's going to be working in that area of immigrant rights, and also we provide direct social services and legal services, covered benefit enrollments. We run the farmers market that you see every Monday and Thursdays in East Hollywood, the East Hollywood Certified Farmers Market. We're building a business incubator, Titan Marketplace, to create jobs and migrant enterprises. And then we have helped launch the Cyanide Market west of East Hollywood. So I'm here today as Julian. Thank you, Julian, for inviting me because we have our 30th anniversary coming up. October 24th, we'll be celebrating our 30th anniversary in Hollywood at the Lombardi Historic House there. And we'd love to get East Hollywood Neighborhood Council members out to the event. The theme of our event is 30 years in the fight for human rights, justice, and community. We will be honoring social impact awardees who've really made an impact, positive impact in the community to bring about real social justice. So among them are Vaccination, Employment Rights Project, the Museum of Social Justice, the Village of Resource Center Community Development Corporation, and also the Labor Community Services under the County Federation of Labor. And so we will have elected officials there, we will have Thai performances, we will have the social impact awardees. We will also have food provided by the Thai street food vendors from the Cyanide Market as well. And I understand that the East Hollywood Neighborhood Council will be supporting us by way of buying an ad in our souvenir program booklet. Thank you very much. We still have tickets for sale, and I've sent Julian that information, sponsorship.
Because she's a community representative.
Accommodate by the end of this week if anyone wants to do a sponsorship, and still also accommodate any ad purchases by business owners who are part of the Neighborhood Council here tonight or the other organizations as well, and also again individual tickets. And all proceeds will go towards benefiting the work we do around uplifting the lives of the poor and the economically disadvantaged, because we are an anti-poverty organization. So we address housing insecurity, food insecurity, access to legal services, health disparities, trying to create health equity in the community, and access to justice, and safety net, helping people get public benefits as well, and trying to really create a thriving, vibrant community, make not just individuals whole, but people whole as well. And that's, I mean individuals whole, but also communities whole as well. That's sort of our pillar. I think I probably run out of time there, so.
Yes, yes, it went way over time, but thank you, because we haven't had a Thai CDC rep for a while. So thank you very much. I hope this can become the norm. So I will follow up with an email and we'll talk further, okay, Chancellor?
Thank you, and thank you for having me, and let me go a little over time. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye
you.
now. Thank
Yes,
you.
have a good rest of
Bye-bye.
the evening. And
Thank you.
thank you, gentlemen, for connecting us. Oh,
Hi, Chauncey, it's Jeff Zarin. Is Elsa still around?
Oh, yes, of course Elsa's still around.
Okay, because I haven't
In
seen him,
fact,
we haven't seen him in a while, so.
yeah, you can find him every Friday night at our Sign Night Market, 8 p.m. performing there.
Okay, great, thank you. Elsa
You're
used to be our
welcome.
president of EHNC.
oh.
Yes, and he was the founder too, so,
Yeah.
yeah, we were very much a part of the founding of the East Hollywood Neighborhood Council as well.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone.
right,
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
Okay. With that, we go on to discussion and possible action on a motion to conditionally support application for a 4-unit residential project seeking ministerial approval under the Vermont Western SNAP located at 1159 N Veranda Street, under the following conditions. 1, that the Department of City Planning finds the project compliant with all SNAP conditions and the project is therefore subject to ministerial approval. 2, that applicant provide a doggy waste station at the property frontage to be maintained by the property owner. 3, that the letter requests City Planning and CD13 to revisit the terms of the Vermont Western SNAP to require an affordability threshold requirement throughout all zones located in SNAP as a condition of any ministerial approvals. We see below for request to add plum item, coming forward, and in his drive, there's more details about it. So Stephanie, you want to explain it, or anyone from Plum?
Sure, I can take it. And some of that, I don't think was meant to be there, but there is, for those who are looking at the agenda, a hyperlink that links to all the project materials. But this got discussed in the most recent Plum committee hearing last Monday. So this is a lot that is going to be 4 units, and I'm trying to find the number of parking spots. Let me see. 6 covered spaces and 1 open guest parking space. I would say, wait, sorry, who's controlling the computer?
Oh, that's me.
Okay, get out of that one, maybe, but the.
Do you
I
want to
should
share
go
the
to-
screen, Stephanie? Maybe that.
I'm on the phone, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it,
Okay.
but they go to number 2 if you wanna scroll through things.
Number 2, right?
Yeah, that would be the one I would suggest if you're gonna have something up, but, so what we discussed in the, committee, is that, you know, this is a ministerial project, which we've discussed these a lot in overall governing board committee, so, you know, I defer to what the board, feels. There have been sort of like conflicting takes on how we want to treat ministerial projects, based on different projects. In general, the committee's take was that because it is ministerial and this developer is designing in compliance with what is allowed to be a by right project, that should be taken into account with the conditions that we listed in the item, which is that we always request that people have a dog waste station, and this is other items. You know, I think that there's still a conflict between what the Vermont Western SNAP plan allows to be by right versus what the committee feels should be by right, primarily around the question of affordability. There are no covenanted affordable units for this project. So that is one thing I want to call out for the group. So the part of the motion that was put forward by the committee was that the letter should address our dissatisfaction with the SNAP plan as things stand, but that is not ultimately necessarily as it relates to the project that has been put forward. I think that maybe I will leave it to the committee to see if there's any questions. I did also want to let you know, Chris, that we have, I'm trying to find him. It looks like somewhere in there, we had James Woodson from, who who represents the project proponents somewhere in the attendees list. He does have his hand raised, so he is here to also answer questions on behalf of the applicant. So you probably want to promote him to panelist. And James, typically it would just be if you're requested to provide a response by one of the
That's right, Goosey.
by one of the governing board members.
Yes, I just promoted James to panelist.
Thank you, Mr.
Oops, sorry, did not mean to raise my hand.
Okay, before we get to James, before we get to the questions, James, do you want to give a little background about this, or does any of the members want to speak on this first?
I want to speak on a second.
Second, so is it okay with James speaking first? All right, James, you want to talk a little bit about this?
You're funny, Goosey.
I'm sorry about that. I was used. That seems to be the problem. So I don't see that. Apologies.
They didn't let a bunch of them speak.
I don't want to do the whole presentation again. I don't want to put you guys to sleep. Just mainly, I wanted to reiterate what Stephanie said, and just give a real quick spiel. I understand there's some disappointment that there's no affordable units. I raised this issue, actually, Colton raised this issue. But in order to do affordable units, the only way it works is you have to do TOC or density bonus. And those projects are a minimum of 9 units. We only have 4 units here, so it really wouldn't be a feasible option for us to do affordable. We're trying to present a quality product. It will be market rate, but we feel it's at scale, and we're very proud of this project and hope that it will bring some new stakeholders to your community. Other than that, I would just be happy to answer any questions, if any questions are asked of me.
Yes, so we'll go with people, we'll do it the opposite way this time. We'll go with people on Zoom first, then we'll go with people in person. Also for board members, if you want, if it makes it easier for you, maybe raising your hand in Zoom might be better. So like that will help out. That's for board members. All right. So we'll go with board members first. So go ahead, Coulter.
Thanks, Chris. So I was the one no vote on this in the planning and land use committee. There's no affordable housing in this plan. We're going to be knocking down a single family home to build this. There's also no connections for electric vehicles. Traditionally, this neighborhood council has not wanted to allow market rate projects to come in if it had no affordable housing with it. I'm struggling to think of ones that we voted for in the past. There's also, like I said, no hookups so that they can convert the garage into electric charging stations. If we are going to convert the state of California to electric down the road for us to deal with climate change and the smog in LA, then the actual infrastructure we need to do that means that we have to basically be forcing developers to build that infrastructure, or else we're not going to have enough electric vehicle stations to do that. So this one doesn't have any affordable housing, and it doesn't have any electric vehicle stations.
Okay, I just want to alter really quickly to clarify. Actually, James, I don't know if you, but I think that we did not determine that was the case during. I think you're talking about actual like electric charging like hookups, right? Most development at this point has like it's the building code to require it to be like EV convertible for like, someone to have the capacity to install the charger should they want it.
Yeah, that's correct. We will not, to Colton's point, we will not have chargers. They won't be ready, but it's convertible. So the possibility is there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, James. I just wanted to check that. That's not, yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
it's
not
possible,
really
yeah.
from the one meeting.
It's because, Colton, sorry, it was because initially I didn't understand the question. I apologize.
that is good, but I'm still more concerned about the affordable housing than even the electric vehicle aspect of it. One of our main goals on this neighborhood council, and certainly one of my main goals, has been to prevent East Hollywood from getting gentrified and going down that road. The way we've been doing that is to build affordable housing and not build these market rate units. To your point about new stakeholders coming in for this, maybe, maybe not, but this screams to me Airbnb. This is essentially looks to me like a market rate condo that we're going to be building here. And that just comes with a cost for the community. And I'm going to vote no on this project because I have a really hard time thinking of how I'm going to tell people that I'm not gentrifying East Hollywood when I'm voting for a project like this. I know it's not huge, but that's my view, and I don't want to be voting for one that's going to be East Hollywood down that road. Thank you.
Okay, I saw Doug.
Yes,
Go ahead,
Coulter.
Doug.
I have a few technical points. First of all, SNAP doesn't have an ministerial project because SNAP has requirements for project approval compliance review, and that's a discretionary approval by the director of planning with the opportunity to appeal. So I think it's gonna, if we send a letter saying that this is ministerial, that version can make it look like we don't know what we're talking about. The appropriate term will be a project that's compliant with the SNAP development standards and other requirements of the Vermont Master Transit Oriented District specific plan. So what has to be done? The other that I have concerns about is number 3, where we're talking about affordability. That's a broader issue. I think that should be taken out. I understand the concerns, but that's not really a specific plan issue. That's about how the community plan should. And this neighborhood council and I have advocated for years for inclusionary housing. But as the developer referenced, inclusionary housing is for more than 9 units. It would require, under other plans, 50% set aside for affordability. We're talking about a 4-unit. So to have an affordable unit, I mean, that's 25% of your unit. And it's a 4-unit because it's consistent with the underlying zone. And even though I don't like to see single-family homes taken out, I think that we as a neighborhood, which is one of the most dense areas of Los Angeles, I think it's something to applaud that someone's actually following the code restrictions that were enacted and are still under the new Hollywood community plan pertinent for density. So we don't have gentrification. And I've spoken multiple times about how these so-called affordable units aren't affordable and you can give it to anyone else. I think it's a broader issue. The abuse is just outrageous when it comes to this. So I don't think that this one little developer of this project should be chastised for coming in and wanting to do something co-compliant. And that's consistent with SNAP. And since it's not a situation where they're requesting a parcel now, which would be a subdivision, then they can't do an Airbnb because you don't have 4 owners, it's just a rental. So the renters aren't under the law allowed to have Airbnb, they have to be an owner. So again, I don't like seeing single-family homes taken away. This is a co-compliant project. It's a project that's compliant with SNAP. It even has almost a 30-foot front yard, so it's consistent with the other yards along Brendo. So I don't think we're wrong with this project, and I think the neighborhood would be in an unfortunate situation if we somehow oppose it.
Okay. We go to Stephanie and then Mike.
They're both tomorrow morning.
Sorry, I'll lower it. It was in reference to something earlier.
Okay. Mike.
Hey, can you hear me? My question for the applicant is, how many other projects do they have in our district?
Josh, the guy who threw our agenda item at the committee level.
High-rise condos along Taylor Street, so I'm a little leery of large companies coming in and buying all the real estate. There's so many people looking to buy houses still, and so yeah, my question is, do they have other properties? And is it like the same, part of the same, you know, larger conglomerates operating everywhere here?
James, can you answer that?
Sure, this is definitely not a large conglomerate. I do understand what you're saying. The issue is there's not a lot of creative architecture out there when it comes to these, so everyone pretty much mimics that same design with variations here and there. So if you're seeing other projects similar to that, it doesn't surprise me, but no, this is not.
It's so ugly.
This particular owner has 3 parcels. The other 2 are located far, far away and hasn't developed them yet. So this is not part of that group that you're referring to.
James, are you saying there's 3 parcels total in East Hollywood?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
He owns 3 parcels.
Okay. And the other 2 are not in East
They're
Hollywood?
not in this fund.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you for asking.
Out of curiosity, what is the bottleneck in terms of my architectural creativity? Why is it that we're only getting one design in this neighborhood?
Well, let me just say, it's not just your neighborhood, because I do presentations in other communities, other farms, and I basically get the same questions from different, on different projects I have. And I would say modern or contemporary architecture is what people want now. I wish I could immediately recall, the LA Times did a great story on this, I think about a year ago. Everybody seems to be doing the same thing everywhere, and people are a little tired of it, but that's the market and that's what's selling. So this is what developers are asking for. Architects, I'm sure, would prefer to do something else, but they have to defer to their clients, and it's an affordable, the most affordable design. So this is what you're seeing throughout Los Angeles County.
I can add a little context for that also. It's a combination of like what the city permits, and they like to, it's easier to rely on something you know they've permitted before. It's also, massing to maximize space in a unit on more kind of small sites, and then it's also the cost of materials means that plus what people think the design that people want right now is all contributing to very similar looking architectural forms for this kind of housing style, which is like small to medium sized capacity on the specs, like somewhere from like 1 to 6 units. You're just going to see a lot of things looking very similar.
Okay, Rosie?
Yes, it is.
I just had a question. So it's a 6-unit apartment complex that's happening, correct? Or?
4, that's the typo, so sorry. It's 4.
Oh, okay, it's 4. Are they 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms?
They're 3 bedrooms.
They're 3 bedrooms. And do you know how much they're going to charge for 3-bedroom apartments?
It would be market rate, whatever that is at the time we finish. It's going to take at least a year for these to get constructed, so who knows what the market will be at that time.
What do you predict as somebody who works in that field?
I know better than to answer that question, and it's impossible to know. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be evasive, but I have no idea what the owner is going to do.
It's like 3,000 to 4,000, maybe 5.
I'm just curious. Thank you.
Okay, so these next questions would be the last few questions. We have 5 minutes remaining, and this is 25-minute discussion. All right, so we will now go to 4 members in this room. Any 4 members?
Okay. So I'd like to echo everything that Doug said, that it is a by-right project. You have to give developers have to create their projects based on the rules that are at hand. So, that's the name of the game. So they have to look at the rules, and if they abide by the rules, we have to approve these projects. Now, we've asked for a few different things in addition. So one thing I like to point out, and Chris, you can bring up the landscaping, is that they're doing a good job in beautifying the area. They're also putting in 3 trees on the parkways, and I think in our conditions we also ask that they're going to maintain it, as well as putting in the doggy way station that they're going to be maintaining as well. So to me, this is an enhancement of the Barrendo, and they're doing a by right project. And I'd like to really emphasize what Doug was saying, is that that whole, a lot of these projects, Mike, that you see, they really build onto the curb or to the property line, but there's a nice front yard here that is being consistent with the single family homes. So I like the project, I'm gonna vote for it.
Okay, any more board members here? Rosie?
I just want to comment. I feel like personally, as somebody who's lived here my whole life, I'm 25, born and raised East Hollywood, I feel like there's a limit between beautifying and gentrifying. I think a lot of gentrification / beautification has happened within the past 10 years. And I feel like there's a limit to it. Otherwise, you're just overpricing everybody that originally has lived here. So.
Okay, we'll go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, I want to correct Mr. Zimmerman. I'm not good with names. He just told everybody that if the developer is abiding by the city laws or city rules, that you have to approve this project, and that is not true. You do not. If you had to approve this project, you wouldn't be the neighborhood council where you're given a vote, yes or no. So please stop lying to the public. Coulter, thank you for standing up against gentrification in this community. Thank you. Okay, the mayor's program, Inside Safe, is paying $17,000 a month to house our unhoused in hotels. We need low-income housing to help them get into permanent housing. We don't need, and for the person who's saying that they're not going to give a guesstimate as to how much that rent's going to be, I'm going to say that $3,000 a month is such a, 3-bedroom, that's going to be a low ball. I'm going to guess $4,000 to $5,000 a month. We don't need that here, okay? And, and it's ugly as anything. I mean, the only building I can say, huh?
They can't hear you. The people in Zoom can't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to start over. Mr. Zimmerman, you just lied to this entire council. You told them that they had to approve this if that developer is following the rules. That is an absolute lie, and I hope you renege on that, because you just advised them they have to say yes, and they do not. And then I thanked Mr. Coulter for standing up for anti-gentrification of this neighborhood. And then I spoke on Inside Safe. The mayor is spending $17,000 a month per person to put them into people, the unhoused, into hotels. They need permanent housing. We're in a housing crisis, and but we need our unhoused permanently housed. And that this property, if it's going for market rates, a 3-bedroom brand new development is going to be probably at low ball $3,000, which is way too low. I'm going to guess $4,000 to $5,000. I'll put a number on it. I'm not afraid to. And you tell me one unhoused person that, the mayor could pay that. She's paying $17,000 a month for it, but she's not going to pay their rent once they get into a development. I also want to know if there's any ADA units, because if I'm not mistaken, you're supposed to have, federal law requires 1 ADA unit for units. Okay.
There's 3 other people here that also.
That's it. Thank you.
So I'll give rapid fire for these 3 people. So Henry, go ahead.
You did good.
Thank you.
Rapid fire. I'll give you a minute.
Yeah, so in my experience seeing projects like this decommission, it's always under the same guise, one with beautifying. Yeah, that shit just equals gentrifying, but we're gonna make it sound nicer. So shame on you, my friend. You might use technical jargon, but I've been in this space before. and you're an absolute charlatan. And I'll tell you how much developments like this go for, right? Audit LA was definitely on the conservative side. That shit is easily $4,500 a month. What are you talking about, all right? And projects like this intentionally keep the number of units down to the threshold where they would be legally required to be affordable housing units. So shame on you, buddy, all right? Shame on you. How stupid do you think people are? Seriously, how stupid do you think people are? Come on, man. And also, the whole world is watching right now. Say hi to YouTube. Bye.
Great job, Henry.
Okay, Mona, I'm gonna ask you to speak. Minute.
Thank you, council members. So I want to kind of relay that also, is that what? I don't think so. 4 or more units under federal law must abide by FHA and ADAC. We don't have enough affordable or accessible housing units now, and we're gonna have at least one for rental unit. That's ridiculous. And trying to go under the guise that ministerial doesn't cut it when it's 4 or more for the FHA. So nice try, but you need to have at least one unit, 25%. Thank you, I yield back my time.
Okay, thank you.
Great job, Mona. And Henry.
So
glad you're
Julian
here.
was the other person I saw. Henry, Mona, please lower your hands down. Please be the last person. You have the last word. Go ahead, Julian.
Hi, I just had a question about what looked like, I'm just reading the plan more closely and trying to determine the trees that Jeff mentioned that are going to be planted on the parkway. They're crepe myrtles, I understand, is that correct, James? And then also, will they be mature when they're planted? Like, will they immediately provide shade and tree cover, or are they going to be tiny, sad, spindly ones that will take 15 years to become something that actually provides shade? Thanks for your insights.
James?
Okay, they will be mature, those will be mature trees in the parkway.
Does that answer your question, Julian?
Yes, thanks.
Okay.
I'm sorry, good, because you want last 15 seconds.
No, sorry, moving on. With that, we will now go to a vote. I move. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay.
You move to approve,
Oh,
but you, what are you motioning?
I'm motioning the conditions here stated by Club.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll second.
Move to conditionally support the application, the recommendation from Bob.
Yeah.
Christopher.
No.
James. Yes. Jeff.
Yes.
Julian.
No.
Coulter.
No.
Doug.
Yes, Dave.
Yes. Jennifer.
Yes.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Mike.
No.
Jack. Yes. Vicky.
Abstain.
Rosie.
Awesome.
Josh.
No.
Catherine. No.
That's the power of coming out. I'm telling you, it would have passed.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now we go on to. We go back to community reports. Okay. I kept all of you waiting very long. Thank you for being here for those items.
I'm proud of them.
So those of you that have community reports, please raise your hand, and also each panelist. You have a minute, and then so with questions. I see a hand. I see 2 hands. Good, I'll go by the order. Mark, I'll promote you to a finalist. And then Joshua, I'll promote you after. Keep your hand up. Mark?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Hey, it's the time Chief Schroeder, just giving you a report for your area, the East Hollywood area that's serviced by Fire Station 35, right up the street from you guys. So last quarter, there was an average of about 10.4 calls a day. So that totaled about 959 calls per quarter. That's 87,751 calls in the city for that quarter. Other than that, I think we all survived the heat wave, and I'm hoping that everyone was able to utilize the cooling centers that were out in public and publicized. As far as calls right now, around the Hollywood area, we're seeing a lot of our vacant structures, a lot of homeless are getting in there, and unfortunately, we're having a lot of fires due to fires. And that's our biggest challenge right now in this Hollywood area. So that is the end of my reports.
And Mark, would you be the one that would be giving the reports from now on?
Well, that depends on what shift. There's 3 platoon shifts. I'm just one of 3 chiefs here. So if it happens to be my day, then if you have a meeting, then it will be me. Otherwise, it will be Chief Ramirez. And if Chief Ramirez can't do that, we have a vacancy, so maybe it will be Captain Corey Jackson if we can't be present.
Okay. Yeah, and the email that was sent by the captain, Captain Corey, is your email on that by any chance?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. So I'll put you here as well, okay? And your email.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone have questions for the captain? Oh, go ahead. Can you get the...
Yes. Can't forget the mic. It's Captain. Good evening, Captain. I want to ask you, I believe I may have spoken to you on the phone about the closure on L. Ron Hubbard Way and how it's barricaded on both ends, even though their permit specifically states that they must keep a 20-foot wide lane, safety lane open. They have not. They've been barricading it. I've been told, well, you know, an ambulance, maybe a small truck could inch through it, but that would take down any golden hour time if need be. And the city seems to be, falling on deaf ears. I do hope to go to the Fire Commission meeting tomorrow. We had 2 earthquakes and their building is crumbling on the smokestack, a gigantic crack that keeps getting worse every time. We need the safety lanes open. Why is it closed? And have you reached out to the councilman's office? Because I talked to them and they said they haven't heard from fire, even though I know, because I did a CPR request, and I know there's been 1,800 emails to LAFD regarding this whole situation with Scientology. So I am asking you, can you please either tell me why it's not open or what you've done to try to get it open? Thank you, sir.
So, I am battalion chief coder, not captain, and I was there at the meeting last month, and I did hear your concerns about L. Ron Hubbard Way, and I said I would look into that, and I immediately went there after the meeting. When I got there, they did state they had permits, and their barriers, the planters, the giant planters, are 20 feet apart, and I am able to get my rig in there, ambulances, and get engines, and it would be a serpentine for my trucks to be within there. So I did get eyes on that to verify the safety of that. As far as the conditions of the building, that's not in my realm, or like the construction or labor or any other issues, but I do know that I can get my resources in there if there's an emergency.
A ladder truck? And without being slowed down? We demand better from you, Battalion Chief. I said we demand better from you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
They couldn't get a ladder truck in there. So, huh? You're not going to get a ladder truck in there. I said ladder truck. Okay, but he would still have to zigzag.
All right.
He could be slowed down. You want your fire rescue slowed down?
I want you to pound.
If a house is burning down? Well, he's trying to say that he could get his rigs through. That's not a fire lane.
We can hear you.
Great, wonderful. Good evening. East Hollywood Neighborhood Council, Johnson, Red Martin, for Assembly Member Rick Chavez Burr. Just had a couple of quick updates. As you all know, the regular legislative session has concluded. We were very proud of the legislative record. We were able to pass our landmark retail theft bill, but with the speaker, which would target and go after repeat serial retail offenders, while at the same time helping to get to the root cause of theft by extending the use of diversion and rehabilitative programs. Other bills that the Assembly member championed that are now on the governor's desk address other priorities, including addressing the housing and homelessness crisis, enhancing public safety, advancing climate action, championing LGBTQ+ civil rights, workers' rights, and equitable access to healthcare. And I have Chris, I sent over a full list of the bills that are standing on our desk.
Exactly, Mona.
You guys. And then my final update here is the special session. So you may have heard the governor has convened the legislature in the special session. Assembly member Zipper was named by Speaker Robert Reeves to serve on the special session committee, which will consider proposals to lower gas prices and address price gouging. The first hearing will take place in Sacramento this Wednesday, September 18th. And those are my updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. All right, we go to. Also appreciate, thank you for sending your information. So, if you're still on the line, there are 2 hands raised here. So, I hope there are questions.
Blueshirt owns this hotel where they meet. He owns this particular hotel.
Thank you.
My hand was raised with the fire chief.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gone now, I think. So
Am I gonna have an opportunity to have a public comment?
Mark is here, so he's still here. So go ahead, give him a quick question.
Yeah, I got a quick question. There's been, I'm also a Scientology protester, and I've seen at least over 50 false fire calls called in, and I've attempted to ask all the firefighters what kind of investigation they're doing into the false fire calls. Is there any type of investigation going in for the fire calls, or is that not a concern to the fire company for false fire calls to talk about?
Thank you, DOA.
Mark, you want to answer that? No, his hand is up.
He doesn't want to answer that.
You just have to mute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay, let's see, I got here in July 14th, and the false fire calls are something I had not heard of, and nor is my fire department, at least down here in Hollywood, experiencing. So that has not been on my radar. And if it does, if there is an uptick, then I can talk with our dispatch and find out. But I have not seen that or heard of the false fire calls. And I think the companies around, such as 35s, would let me know that, hey, this is a problem, this is a nuisance, this is an issue. So I'll put it out to them and see if they've seen any kind of reoccurrence or events of this. So thank you for bringing that to my attention.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to you. All right. And Marie, I'm going to ask you to ask you. Go ahead. You have a minute.
Thank you, yes. Hello, Chief. Just 2 questions. So, number 1, when you mentioned that you were immediately after the neighborhood council meeting, you drove over to LRHWA. Now, I just want to clarify for the record, did you drive through with a standard full-size fire truck to actually attempt to make it through, or did you drive through your SUV issued vehicle and use that as the basis for how much space you had to make the judgment on whether it was actually capable of going through or not?
I've been in our SUV, and also as a previous engineer, I know the limitations and the length and width of my engine, so I know that I can get through. And with a truck and a good apparatus operator and a tiller person in the back, because you have a good amount of maneuverability, that we can navigate our way through.
It would be
Okay,
slowed
thank you.
down.
Yeah, and you know, I too also like to say that I'm a gingerbread man, but it's pretty clear that you didn't use your fire truck, so thank you for stating that on the record. The other thing is,
Sorry, thank you. One question. I see Kelly. By the way, this is supposed to be Joshua's time. Please, people, if you're gonna, when I ask you to raise your hand, please raise your hand for the specific person you're going to talk to. Because I didn't see people raise their hands for that. This will be the only time I do this. I won't do this again. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the exception. I have my hand raised and accidentally lowered it. So this is for Mark. When you drove by the big blue building, we're going to call it, when you went around the fountain, in between Ron Hubby Lane and Catalina, did you notice, and if you did, please speak on, the large planters on the easement at the fire lanes? And is that an acceptable practice for the fire lanes to be blocked by planters that are, and I measured the tape measure up to, I think it was 3 feet was the max space in between those planters, much less between most of them. So can you just speak to the safety concerns, or why you dismiss the safety concerns of the fire lanes being blocked by planters at 3 feet or less space? Thank you.
Those planters are considered, there was a children's event, and where they had the streets blocked off for, there was some event that they had on the south side, so I couldn't enter from that side. They had a fair or expo, so I went around to the north side, so I can't speak to the south side.
Convenient.
Could you please drive by the south side and check out Fountain Avenue? There's a door entryway that's in the building and it's blocked.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead and answer this one quickly, Mark, but that's it.
Yeah, I'll get my eyes on it. I'll check out the south side now that I think that venue was done, so I'll be able to go over there and check it out.
Okay, thank you.
Great job, Henry and Kelly. Thank
I
you.
apologize. We were in the middle of talking to you. This shouldn't have happened.
No, it's no problem at all. If there are some questions, I'll head on out.
Okay, anyone of the board, anyone of the members have questions for Joshua?
Exactly, Taylor.
Go ahead, Coulter.
Hi Joshua, thank you so much for coming. For this retail theft bill, it says it adds stipulations and additional sentencing to multiple offenders of retail theft. Offhand, do you kind of roughly know how many years or whatever the term is that they're adding if they're doing multiple thefts?
Sorry, I didn't quite get it. So, which part are you referring to?
Yeah, what is the add-on actually if they're doing
I think, if I understood correctly, I think it's where if you're the same person that maybe did it in one county and then a different county and then a different county, but allowing all those to congregate instead of being individual. Maybe you have to be like, instead of being an individual county, and you have to be the same person doing it, because again, the purpose is going after the repeat serial offenders, and like the large organized crime rings. I think that might be the part, but if I can check with you all, find a better understanding, and take it back to my legislature.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, Kelly, do you have a question for
Only 40. Let's make it 50.
You just have your hand up. Go ahead.
Oh. Apologies, I'll lower it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Joshua, and also thank you for sending me these updates. So, also, again, if any of you have any flyers or whatever, please send them my way. You can put them on our website. You know, Is that all committee reports? Is there anyone else with a committee report in person?
Recently, women in Vaccination is doing a professional clothing drive to be donated in 3 locations, either be dropped off at her office in Eagle Rock or the Women's Center East LA or the YMCA East LA location. You can donate until October 4th, so professional clothing only, slightly worn, preferred. I also have those flyers.
Okay. So when Carlos is not on, you would be our voice for her office?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. With that, do you have any questions for Wendy's office? No? Okay. No more, I don't see any more hands for reports. We then go on to community voices, on the bid. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you, Christopher. So we're having, I'm the chair of the East Hollywood Business Improvement District. We're having a meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. at LA City College Foundation offices at 3 p.m.
We need to do that meeting soon.
We're continuing with our cleaning and greening of Vermont Avenue, which is primarily what we take care of. We are going to be starting very soon tomorrow. Most likely going to approve it.
We gotta hit that meeting.
On Vermont shortly, and the street light project has been delayed. There's been some issues with BOE, or Bureau of Engineering. Other than that, that's about it.
And we're in the ACC Foundations in the 3rd floor?
Third floor.
Auditorium?
Third floor, yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, hey Jenna.
There is a Zoom, yeah. If you go to our website, ehbid.org, the link is there. East Hollywood Business Improvement District, EHBID.
We gotta hit that tomorrow.
Okay. Walter?
Will you just be discussing the issues with the streetlights at the meeting tomorrow, or is that going to happen?
You mean the overhead lights?
Yes.
The street lights, yeah.
Okay.
So, question on.
Oh. Go ahead.
I know I need the microphone, right? Let's just bring one with me. Thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get to your meeting tomorrow because I found out from the councilman's office that Scientology has actually been ordered to remove the planters. They're not ADA compliant, and I was told that both that they were given written warning and also that they were spoken to in person on the phone that they need to go. They're not legally allowed to be there. And I know on your bid board, that you do have an active Scientologist on the board, which, that's allowed. But if they're not in compliance with getting rid of these planters and that building's within your bid district, I have an issue with one of your board people not being compliant with the ruling of the city. And so I am hoping that these planters are gone by your meeting tomorrow, so it won't be an issue. But if it's not there, I would like to know. I'll give you time in advance to prepare as to what the timeline is for them to remove those planters, since the city did tell them they had to remove them. Thank you.
Okay, and also I put up on the screen, and I hope everyone can see it. There's a link for the Zoom, and you can click on the agenda. So there you go.
Can somebody post, somebody post the agenda? Because they do it on Zoom. Car, if you got it.
Yes, thank you. I just want to reiterate Audit LA's comments regarding the removal of the planters. I too was there when this order was issued. You are not in compliance. These planters have to go. I will be following through if your board continues to make action without reconciling the removal of the planters, which the city has deemed as illegal and needs to go. And for those that don't know, that is an official order. Scientology is still not in compliance, and this board clearly does not seem to care to be in compliance. And so it should be duly noted that those planters have to go. City has deemed it as such, not my own words, it's not hearsay. And yeah, I just want to ask you directly, what are you planning to do to maintain compliance on removal of planters?
I've been asked this question before. The planners are not within the jurisdiction of the bid. You don't enforce planners.
Great job, Henry.
Thank you. DOA, I'll ask you to unmute.
So it's my understanding that, that they're not dealing with the planters at all. I'm confused because there was a bunch of planters removed through Hollywood Boulevard because they weren't approved and the city wanted to get rid of them. Then the Church of Scientology puts out the planters. First they have a porta potty removed that we had there for the homeless. The city came in and had the streets and sanitation remove that, had that porta potty removed. And that very, within 24 hours, had those planters in place. So I just don't understand how these planters are being allowed to be there, why there's special treatment for the Church of Scientology. So thank you so much.
Great job, DOA.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So DOA, please lower your hand. We can't have them constantly, it makes it easier to follow these commands. Tammy?
Sorry, Gina, I know it's really bad here.
People that had voice issues earlier. Try.
They can't hear.
We still can't hear you. I don't know, maybe log off and then come back in. Sorry. Does anyone in the room have any comments for Jen? If not, we will move forward. Okay, Kelly. So everyone, please, so we can keep some order here. Please raise your hands immediately. If you're gonna say something, don't just wait until when I'm about to transition. So, because then it just.
Just say Tammy is the last person.
Yeah, next time, no, I won't allow it anymore. So, Kelly.
That's for the bid.
You're the last person, no more.
I apologize. It's not intentional. I just stuck with technology. But also I didn't have a question immediately because it's a question regarding an answer I just heard. To the gentleman in the blue shirt that just spoke, and I did not get your name. You said that it's that the plan situation is not within, I think you either said jurisdiction or bid, but regardless, it's not your mess to clean up. I hear that. Can you please tell me who is responsible for holding them accountable? Please, thank you.
I don't know.
Great job, Kelly. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Tammy, yeah, we tried already. I don't know if it's gonna work. So with that, we will move on. We will now go back to the consent agenda. So the consent agenda, especially for you, Catherine, to explain, is basically just us passing a whole list.
Yes, because he's from the bid, which is like the
without having to separate
like the business district.
So the only time people take, the only time we vote separately is for when somebody has an objection and we take it out and vote on it on its own.
Yes.
So with that being said, we go to the consent agenda.
His meeting is tomorrow.
Does anyone have any of these items? Does anyone have any issues with any of these items?
I'll post it on my community page tonight.
Okay, seeing none, I move to pass the consent agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Jack?
All right, Christopher.
Yes.
James.
That's right,
Yes.
DOA.
Jeff.
Yep.
Jillian.
Yes.
Coulter.
Yes.
Doug.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Jack, yes. Nikki,
Yes.
Rosie,
Yes.
Josh, Catherine. Alright,
Okay,
and then back.
perfect. So and Catherine, we'll talk offline about what to prefer with the website, okay? So with that, we will go on to, I believe we just hear that. So we will go on to
Yes, exactly.
discussion
Special
and
treatment.
possible action regarding a letter to ABC regarding noise issues from the business at 42116 Melrose Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90029. Coulter, but my understanding.
He also owns this hotel where they meet. He's on the board. He owns this hotel where we meet.
I don't know if this will prevent us from passing it. Let's see if people object. If not, we could just add an exclamation to clean it up.
Do you want me to tell them what?
Go ahead.
So, at the Building and Safety and Business Committee meeting, we had a gentleman come who lives in the south part of East Hollywood. There's a club down there, the address listed, that when music's playing is extremely loud and vibrates the entire neighborhood. I myself had seen it when I was driving through down there with my friend one night. And so what he came and told us is that this has been happening for a long time. He's been texting back and forth with the owner, trying to get it handled, it hasn't been handled. And it's to the point where he's sleeping inside of his closet many nights trying to get some quiet. So the situation's been perpetually bad for long enough now that we decided we wanted to write a letter to ABC, basically saying they're in violation because they're, by the ABC ordinance, they're not allowed to be causing that kind of nuisance with the noise. So we're supposed to draft a letter. It sounds like maybe the letter did not make it to the agenda. I'm happy moving forward and voting on us drafting a letter and sending it, but if the board objects, then
To clarify, the letter is here, it's just not in PDF, and it's not cleaned up. Like, if there's any grammatical stuff or anything. So, but it is here. We could still pass it as it is. Maybe just add a motion to clean it up. Like an amendment to clean it up. It's up to you. If not, we just pass it like that.
would you like me to motion?
First, let's see, we have a hand raised, so Doug, go ahead. Doug?
I'm sorry, I was a little confused. The letter was posted on the website, so what was the issue with the letter? Besides the mask, which you could just change.
The individual that sent it to us told us that it's like a rough draft of it. So.
No, Jeff, Zimmerman.
Yeah, so that's why. So, I don't know, the board doesn't have issue.
Or Zimmerman.
Just to clarify though,
But
the
Jeffrey.
board has no issue with it, we just pass it like that, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, I do want to give a real quick, I'm sorry, wanted to give a quick background on the procedure now for ABC. It used to be you would
Jeffrey Z.
send a complaint directly to the local office, which would be downtown Howard. They changed it to now you
Or Zirano.
That's why it lists the Sacramento office in the letter.
That's it.
And then there's actually an email for complaints that would be sent. The letter itself, I think there might be some confusion when the letter was sent in. It's just, this is a draft, the board can change it in any way they want. But if you read the letter, I think it addresses the issue.
Okay. Yeah, the only, okay, yeah, no, actually, it's great. I'll have other people, I'll let the Zoom people go first, then I'll have the people in person, but any board members have any comments on this? First,
Is there a maximum amount of time we can allocate for all public comment periods on forthcoming agenda items?
I'll have to do that from now on. So
What would you like to say?
a minute.
No, that's for each one. Total period per agenda item.
Oh, 20 minutes. Let's do.
He's trying to.
Apologies.
That's not on the agenda.
When you're talking about public comment, I'm thinking presentation.
That's not on the agenda.
Yeah, 6 minutes. 6 minutes is fine.
Okay. Let's see.
All right, so that'll be from now on.
Might have to do a grievance.
So, Henry, go ahead. I speak to you.
Yes, just a point of clarification as my question pertains to neighbors who wish to file complaints such like yours, a noise complaint. Anybody here you're saying now has to officially send it over to the Sacramento office instead of locally as before? Is that correct in my understanding there?
This is the way it used to be is you would contact the local office, and again, that would be a good job on that LA office. But if you go to the website, there's an official procedure now to go, and it's directed to Sacramento, and then they send it down locally. I think that's the result of what happened with Will Salau, who used to be the head of investigation and also local office. He accepted a number of bribes, and so because of the scandal related to that, now everything goes directly to Sacramento and then back to the local.
I see. I just wanted to clarify that, so thank you for pointing that out. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. All right, you declude over your hand, thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, before you start changing the rules, I would highly suggest you go get the city attorney's approval for changing rules, regardless of what I don't know what your bylaws say, and you're doing it midstream just because you want to get home early. You better talk to the city attorney. Oh, God. Yes, my suggestion is before you start making up rules midstream, that you get clarity from the city attorney and from your Dunn representative to make sure that your bylaws allow you just to, make rules and change things to try to squelch free speech and public comment. I understand you want to get home. I get it.
As long as it's applied to everyone in the meeting, it's kosher. That's the rule. That's Robert's rules.
Well, it's beyond Roberts. You also have your standing rules, you have your bylaws, and you have other. Okay, I said just make sure, because to me it sounds like you're trying to squelch free speech because you don't want to like that a lot of people showed up today. And I'm sorry, but now as far as the letter, I want you to write that letter. I hope you do, because nobody should have to sleep in their closet to avoid noise. But we came here, how many month after month after month, seeking a letter as well. And thanks to Josh for breaking quorum, we were not able to get that vote. Whether you voted yes or no, it doesn't really matter. It's the fact that we wanted a chance to get the vote, and Josh left mid speeches and broke quorum. So I will continue my request and question and ask you to please continue that we want a letter as well. We just want clarification from the city as to who is responsible for the planters. We want to understand, and other clarifications about this endless permits and about the fire lanes. We want answers as well. And I think as a neighborhood council, since the public is so up in arms about it, that you could at least help us with a letter for clarification. Thank you.
Walter, you had your hand up.
I'm just going to suggest that we actually agendize next executive board meeting and a conversation about the time limits.
Thank you, guys.
It's already done. It makes sense. We need to do that. All right, if there are no more comments, we would take this to a vote. I move. Okay. We got a move in a second. Let's take this to a vote to pass it as is.
All right, motion to pass the letter as is. Christopher.
Yes.
James.
No.
Jeff.
Yes.
Jillian.
Abstain.
Coulter.
Yes.
Doug.
Yes.
Jennifer.
They're volunteer.
Stephanie.
They're elected, but they're volunteers.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate
Yes.
you all being here.
Jack, yes. Vicky,
Yes.
Rosie,
Yes.
Josh, Catherine.
Yes.
Alright, motion passes.
Okay, so that we go to discussion and possible action regarding locations for an upcoming mobile vaccine clinic at East Hollywood. Go ahead.
Yes. So there's a little bit of an update from when we met for public health and safety. Our committee met. There was one from the Department of Health, LA County Department of Health, that reached out in what was pretty much a form letter inquiring about a mobile vaccination clinic in the neighborhood, if we were interested in setting one up or having any events that we want one at. And as a part of that committee, I filled out the form that they provided, and I haven't yet heard back. And I guess I just wanted to bring it up here to talk with the rest of the board about it, because I, being a new board member, wanted to know if we have any history of setting up mobile vaccination clinics with the LA County Department of Health, and if we had experience with them previously. Otherwise, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yes, so, perfect if you brought this up. So back before, I don't know, maybe it was during COVID, but, definitely during, it was, yeah, exactly. So during COVID, we teamed up with Queen's Care. And they provided a mobile vaccine station where we were doing our COVID spots. And they would just set their own, they would set up a place outside on the public corner there.
They have their different
That's
agendas.
how they would be doing it, and they would be having people that are waiting for their COVID spots go to them and get their, also their COVID vaccine, and I think they started doing flu shots eventually too.
We did so.
What I could do is I could dig up my emails and send them your way, Josh, so to see if that would help you.
Great, that would be super helpful.
It's just for the neighborhood.
I haven't heard back off of this form quite yet, but I am going to also email the person who reached out to us in that initial form letter to kind of get some more information about setting it up. And then hopefully, once we sort of establish a line of communication, we can start thinking about times and places where this may be effective. I think it's important, considering obviously flu season is coming up, as well as COVID cases. I know they've come down a little bit recently, but are elevated, and there is a new booster shot that is being recommended. So it's important to set this up. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
No problem. Anyone else have any comments on this? Any suggestions for him? Okay. Oh, seeing none. Older?
Hey Josh, thank you so much for bringing this, and thank you so much for your committee to look at this and think all this through. So just to clarify, at this point, you guys have not brainstormed where we could set these up, or is there something you guys are leaning towards?
Well, initially, when we met 2 weeks ago, I know that the East Hollywood Community Garden is having a garden party.
I think it does
coming on Sunday, but obviously 2 weeks ago, that was 2.5 weeks away. And on the DOH form, it says, if your event is within 2 weeks, it might be difficult to set up, and that's proving truthful. That was kind of the first thought that we had.
And then he tries to limit speech to
thought about.
26 people for 1 minute per item. That's ridiculous.
The Dia de los Muertos event that's actually next on the agenda is something to consider. I believe Jillian brought that up. If I misspoke, feel free to jump in, Jill. But otherwise, yeah, it was mostly most of those 2 events that we spoke about.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I saw Julie, your hand was raised. wanna piggyback on that?
No, I was just gonna chime in that also Olga from Children's Hospital was present for that discussion, and I think we talked about a couple of potential, ways to collaborate with them around this. I have their meeting minutes somewhere that was a chat related to that committee meeting.
I would approve this big time if they reduce it to 6 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Even city council does 40 minutes.
Offline and see what we can do. Again, I'll send you the information on my page on. So, with that, we go to discussion and possible action regarding the other day, alter proposal at Barnesville Junior Art Center Gallery. Julian, take it away.
Yeah, so this came up at the Arts and Culture Committee meeting, basically just thinking about if there was any member of the board that would be excited to kind of spearhead East Hollywood Neighborhood Council collaborating with a local nonprofit or some other community group to submit a proposal for an altar for the Dia de los Muertos celebration at Barnesville Junior Art Gallery. I pitched that to Chancey, who jumped off. I wondered if there was anyone from like the Tri-CBC community that might want to be honored or anything like that. I haven't heard back, but this was basically, everyone seemed excited about the possibility of Arts and Culture Committee. It's unfortunate that we don't have that much time, but if anyone on the board was super excited about it, it was something that we could offline about. Otherwise, we could keep this in mind for next year to think about a way of having a presence at a cultural community celebration and a way to like honor potentially a past member of the community. So if anyone has thoughts, please raise your hand or chime in, or you can reach out to me offline and we can think through how to submit a proposal.
And Julian, how long do we have before this is like, before we pass the deadline?
It's the 20th of September. So I don't, based off of what from looking at that proposal, I think we could write to them, looking at that application, I don't think it has to be like a pristinely designed, finalized thing. It would sort of be like, hey, these groups of individuals are interested, or these community groups are going to come together and do something. Here's the footprint that we need. And then we would have sort of, I think we could buy a little bit of time. But yeah, that was just throwing it out there.
Thank you, Julian. Anyone have any thoughts on this on the board? If not, we could talk offline. Maybe some time to think about it. I see a hand raised here, so go ahead, Mona, and ask to unmute.
Hello, thank you for allowing me to speak to this. I do have a newly formed nonprofit that is artistic in nature, and it is for recognizing and advocating for children and animals that are being abused. And if I could get that address, I would be more than happy to talk offline.
Sure, you can email me. It's my first name is Jillian, Jillian, Schultz, SCHULTZ, at easthollywood.net.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, Mona.
Okay.
She's killing it too.
Thank you. This is an advice to you in collaborating with planning a event. It is a difficult task. Expedite every possible decision you can. And that being said, I'm a little bit concerned that you talking offline back and forth as a sub-governmental unit might be in violation of the Brown Act. I hope that you can get consultation as to what those requirements are. I'm not chastising you. I'm not suggesting you're doing anything nefarious. I want to protect you and allow you to proceed helping the community. Thank you.
Great point, Yvonne. There are rules.
Emery?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to ask for clarification. Is the motion being raised to either accept the draft proposal as is or amend it? Just wanted to see if there's a motion that's been raised there.
There is no motion. And there's no proposal. This is sort of an open call to the community, specifically to board members who might want to spearhead this. Or formulating and submitting a plan. There is no proposal at present. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mike?
Do we have line up with those like people? Maybe that would be interesting for everyone.
I like that idea. I don't know anyone, I mean, aside from like asking at Bicycle Kitchen, I'm not sure who's sort of behind, if there's like a nonprofit entity behind those like stuff.
Okay. If you could find that information, Mike, and pass it on to Julie, that'd be awesome. Thank you. We now go on to budget and finance action items.
Okay, thanks. Next speaker, Bernard, please. Okay, so this is also a malformatted MER. I'll go over why that is in the next agenda item. But the portal runs ungenerated, so you're just going to have to make do. I know there's a couple of flags. There's actually a lot of flags. I'm in big trouble. That is a MER. It's just our annual monthly expenses. It's not very exciting. I move.
I said, oh,
Is there any public comment on this item? Monthly expense report. I am seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Roll call approved for Murr, Christopher,
yes.
James,
Yes.
Jeff, yes, Julian,
This is like the best. Their monthly expenditure reports. Like how much they spend. They have to prove it.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Stephanie,
Housekeeping, I call it.
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Jack, yes, Vicky,
He's the treasurer, so they're just dealing with the money.
Yes.
Josh,
Josh?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Yes. So yeah, just to clarify for you, Catherine, you unfortunately cannot vote on budget and finance items. You have to do your training of the training. And,
motion passes.
okay, perfect. All right.
Could you bring up the admin packet, please? So this is the new admin packet. So as of this fiscal year, you can no longer have automatically approved items in the outreach section of the admin packet. This year takes me, for the reason there's a nonprofit head, you want to have your admin overhead as low as possible. I imagine that also appears to government, right? But now keep scrolling. So now all the stuff that we used to have auto approved in the outreach section had to get shoved into the overhead section, which makes our pie graph look stuffier. This brings me great displeasure. That being said, I don't want to have to vote on every $2 Facebook expense, so it has been done. This is the new admin packet. I move.
So, second.
Is there any public comment on the admin packet? Yes.
Do you have any concerns about why the city would be forcing us to move this money to the admin side instead of?
Well, if you want to be conspiratorial, let's make the neighborhood councils look less efficient. Because it artificially blows up the admin overhead line item. I don't know. Honestly, it is the math. I'm not that conspiratorial, although there's somebody on the grass and all, and we'll go ahead and make it. Is there any other public comment?
Yes.
Yeah, there-
All right, well, I need your microphone, please. Right, or a microphone.
We will do this. This one working? It is.
Thank you. Yes, as you all know, I believe that, you know, that you can go to BONC, the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners. Their meeting was this morning, actually, and because I'm not going to join in conspiracy theories, but there has been over the years an erosion of the neighborhood's voice, of their budget, of their abilities, and everything else. So my suggestion to all neighborhood councils is to find your voice within the people who make the rules for you, BONC, and to please get more involved with those commission meetings and fight for the neighborhood council. I know I come here with a lot of issues, but I'm very much on your side. I'm very much on the neighborhood council system side. Thank you.
Thank you for that. See no more comment, roll call vote, please.
All right, Christopher.
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Jeff. Yes. Julian.
Yes.
Coulter.
Yes.
Doug.
Yes.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Jack. Yeah. Vicky.
Yes.
Rosie.
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
All right, motion passed.
Bravo. Our next one is from Jillian. You want to finish it, Jillian?
Sure. This came up at the Arts and Culture Committee meeting, and has to do with what Shanti updated us on during community reports on behalf of ICBC. We are proposing that this is a nice little opportunity to put a small EHNC ad in their anniversary booklet, and I've put this on the radar of the outreach team, trying to pull something together that would support their endeavor and create a little bit of visibility in the community.
They only get $32,000 a year.
EHNC and might get to some greater engagement. And
I know they get this place for free.
so that's, and we've been given
Because
a
he's on the
little
board and he gives it to them for free.
by ICBC to submit this.
But I think that creates a conflict.
Is your name still not Coulter, or is this
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that, if my understanding is correct, then the outreach committee is gonna talk about this in our meeting tomorrow. At that point, we can kind of figure out the viability on our end to, make the ad, and then we can have discussion amongst outreach about the best use of our outreach funds, and if this is something that we think makes sense. At the executive board meeting, we wanted to give ourselves the option in case we decided it does make sense, so that's why we're gonna approve this. If for whatever reason at the outreach committee meeting tomorrow, we, realize that it's not viable or prudent for whatever reason, then it doesn't force us to spend money either. So it just allows us the option to run the ad if we want to.
Okay, great, thank you. I move.
Second.
Right. Public comment.
That's funny, Sammy.
50, Smackaroos. Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Christopher.
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Jeff. Yes. Julian.
Yes.
Coulter.
Yes.
Doug. Doug. Doug, you still with us? Doug, we're back to Jennifer.
Sorry, my thing went on mute. Sorry.
All right, you vote. Is that a yes? No?
That's correct.
Yes? Doug, what is your vote? Say yes. Yeah. Jennifer.
I voted yes.
All right, Jennifer.
Yes.
Stephanie. Stephanie.
Various.
Mike.
Yes.
Jack, yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Rosie.
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Okay, thank you very much. And like always, thank you, James, for your wonderful job with the budget. All right, so committee reports. 1 minute per item. Of course, we covered all of the items above, so Jillian, anything else you want to add?
We've talked a lot about what got covered, and we also had visitors from Los Feliz and some really good neighborhood councils to talk about.
Typically 2 hours, which we're at the 2-hour mark, but they have a hard close at 10.
Outreach team, there's still time to apply to host or to perform or to volunteer or even to attend. It's a very cool community event in collaboration with those sort of 3 neighborhoods and neighborhood councils. And then also letting folks know that we're making slow but steady progress on the collaboration with Silver Lake Neighborhood Council and CD 13 about the mural on Virgil and Santa Monica on the 7-Eleven. The call for artists, we're busy getting that translated into various languages right now, and we're hoping to get that out the door by the end of next week. So be on the lookout for that, and proposals will be accepted through November 15th, and then we'll work on finalizing the plan and getting that all approved. So soon to be more public art on the streets of East Hollywood. Yay. Thanks.
Thank you. James, budget finance?
I was not there.
Okay, it went well. We got the items here. We move on. Business? Jeff?
We had a meeting where we just went over the ABC situation, so I think we're going to start everything with that.
Okay. Bylaws? The bylaws are there. These are the old ones. Most likely we'll have a meeting to discuss future plans for bylaws, and we can start working on early before the next time. So we'll most likely talk about that. The executive forming this agenda. The next executive will be interesting as well. We talk about housekeeping for the governing board, and also talking about things that the city may bring to our attention. So that'll be good too. Homelessness and displacement. And the meeting was yesterday, correct?
Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, I really believe in the local level. I'm big on it.
Yes. Yeah, at a high level, we chatted a little bit about the federal housing grants and the shortages here.
Yeah, mind you, this is just for a neighborhood, not the whole city, only East Hollywood. So it's the very lowest level, but it gives the public a chance to come and be heard.
Mayor Schiff's, his team, his field reps, to kind of decide what potential next steps look like for helping to accelerate bringing on more either permanent assisted housing or safe camping, or just more housing in general, and getting the word out to the public. So, yeah, had a lot of people reach out about that recently, especially online. So, if anybody here is listening is interested in getting involved, please send me an email. It's my cellular at
Okay. Also, for the committees that are having meetings after this board meeting, remember to send them my way.
I'm liking this guy. I'm liking him.
So that you don't have to wait until the last minute. We discussed some Forbidden rights, so we most likely will talk about that, see what we can start.
Not happy with him.
Also the 2 weeks.
Not happy with him.
Talk, see what we can do about that.
I like him.
We're meeting tomorrow, so
I don't know yet.
there's a lot of items there, so.
And I like him.
An absolutely packed agenda, so wish us luck.
One question is just everybody.
She seems okay.
Emails come in, by the way.
She's brand new, we'll see.
Is being able to work, we're reaching out with interesting individuals.
Yeah, see this guy's trying to get, he's trying to get things done too.
Intro, all of them, and pass them on to the kids who are interested in. So
Also.
Hope it's not too much drama, because we're keeping them late.
For shepherding that. That's incredible. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. So we go to planning and land use management. Stephanie, anything else you want to add?
Stuff was on the agenda.
Is she no longer here? I don't see her. Maybe she had to go out, so. Yeah, basically it was on the agenda, so if that's fine with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Public health, safety, and sustainability.
We had a pretty full agenda. I was not able to attend. I was down. Julian, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add about that. Go share that meeting a week ago.
Yeah, we had a great discussion. Olga was present, Josh was there. We talked about the whole vaccine clinic. I can't even remember what else we discussed. Anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, I can jump in, and say it was like, it was definitely, we talked about the whole vaccine thing, and Jack, because there was no overlap with the previous meeting where I had to speak suddenly due to a personal emergency, we should just talk about what came out of that previous meeting where we were asking for a lot of permits regarding L. Ron Hubbard Way and the Scientology building.
Yeah, it's a plan on that. I'm still looking for the city to figure out who we're going to be the most effective to address the letters towards. We know what we want to say.
Yes.
So we're approaching the right people with the message. So it's still communication.
Yes.
Great, yeah, because I hope that the next meeting we can both be there and form Voltron to take care of this so that our constituents feel more confident.
It's about Jack.
I appreciate it. Cool. That's all I have.
Colton, this is a media report. Do you have a question for them? Okay.
Were you able to discuss the how your committee wants to handle public safety items going forward? Because that's been one of the debates on the executive board is about whether we are bringing those public safety items to the governing board meeting or whether we're sending them through EHSS. And so I just wanted to see if you guys had any conversation about that or if you had a table.
Will we table that?
Yeah, what Joe said.
Okay, Jack, it's your committee. If you want to question us, we want to
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. Actually, I appreciate you very much. You get the W today. And Josh, I think you sound like you're redeeming yourself tonight. I just want to come and ask about public safety, about the senior lead officers. You have 4 of them. I have yet to ever see any of them come. And I find it disgusting, and I am dealing with LAPD with that after them because they need to be here and tell the community what's going on. We have a right to come and ask the senior lead officers what is going on. And so this is not, a rebuke to you. I just think that it's unfair that you guys if LAPD is not respecting this board enough to send us even one senior lead officer with how many divisions covers you? 3 divisions, and not one senior lead officer can come here. I'm planning on going to the police commission meeting tomorrow morning, and I probably will bring this up, but I have been bringing this up. I'm actually, rebuking the actual senior lead officers. And I'm asking too, if you guys would please, if driven from a stakeholder, to please write a letter to them and please demand the respect that the board deserves to have senior lead officers come and attend to the public. It's like they don't want to answer to the public, they don't want to hear from us, and you guys have to sit here and listen to us even though you're trying to reduce the time. I don't appreciate that, but you hear every month you listen to us. Even if you don't like what we have to say, they need to be here and to answer questions and to listen to us too. Thank you.
Thank you. We agree.
Thanks.
I agree with that too. They should be here and
Thank
in
you.
the meeting.
Yes.
With that being said,
Thanks, guys.
We still need to talk.
Yes, they did. They all did
And I
great.
think there was someone who was interested from thanks to Mike's email, so I'm gonna see if we discuss. Yeah, we can start something. Okay?
Ivana is somebody who's been working with us behind the scenes. She joins us sometimes with the public works meetings too. She's an extremely intelligent lady. I don't know if she's an engineer, but she understands like that. She's very smart. I was very happy to have her come.
I have a form that we need to fill out, so most likely it'll be a big topic on the next board, so we'll discuss that, so we'll fill that out. Next board meeting will be on October 21st, and the executive meeting will be on October 9th.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank 200 people. 2 hours in. I'm so proud of you guys. The win goes to the chat and to the mods. I've seen you've been busy tonight, mods.
The agenda is here. We're all here. We're all people. Yeah, we're great. So I adjourn the meeting at 9:07 p.m. Thank you everybody for being here.
So, wasn't too bad.
Thank you.
Hi guys. Okay.
Where the fuck is this?
Forget.
Where's your bag? Oh, never mind.
Okay, call turn.
The debate we've been having back and forth with the publics, with the senior officers.
Yes.
I think more than 4 actually. Is just about whether or not we want to have them all come to this meeting because we have 3 different police divisions and so many different senior officers. We're like, okay, that's gonna take a ton of time.
Right, even just one though.
Yeah, so the Northeast Police Division captain called me and asked if I wanted him to come to meetings. I said I was going to talk to the board about it first, so because I don't like public officials having to come if we don't have anything to talk about because it takes time. So I will invite them to come if there's something like we want to hear from them on. But I do think that the community needs a forum for people that want to come and talk to the senior officers to have that, and right now we don't have that, and so that's why we're just debating whether or not we do it through the committee, the Public Health and Safety Committee, or if we do it through the governing board meeting. But that
They should be at both. I'm sorry, this is years and years being involved in this system. They should be at both because the community, like whether or not the board feels there's anything they need to talk about, they want the crime updates and they want to be able to ask. They're always very hugely popular. It doesn't mean you have to give a million, times. Like you don't have a whole lot of people showing up for questions. Right now you have us because, we have issues with L. Ron Hubbard right now. But it's really important to have the senior leads because people, like whether it's the noise complaints or whatever, people like to have that connection because they don't get to speak to their officers, and so they can come here and do it. And that's why I really highly recommend bugging the heck out of them.
It's coming.
And which captain did you speak to? Because I griped to one about it.
Northeast.
Do you know which one?
Yeah, Officer Hernandez.
Okay, but they have 2 captains, right? Because I think I spoke to the other one.
I think East Hollywood only has 1 for.
No, I think they have 2. I think they have 2.
There's so many of these tracks. I think we have 2 for Hollywood. I think we have 2 for Rampart, and I think we only have 1 for Northeast.
I mean the captains, not the senior leads, but yeah, the senior leads should be here. Yeah, they should be. One of them should be here at every single meeting, even if they rotate. The community has it's good for the community to have them there. Yeah, and so to me, it's they're being derelict if they, so that this is a big sticking point on me.
Right. Yeah. Well,
they need to be accessible.
I need to call and ask them to do that, and I haven't done that.
Okay. Well, they shouldn't have to ask. They should be telling you, we need to come down and you shouldn't have to ask. Tell them to get down here, not ask them. Tell them, you need to be here. They need to be there. Yeah.
Hey, great seeing you.
Great seeing you too. I appreciate you a lot. I do. I said you're one of the people. You, Jack, the gentleman over there. Like he seems like you all seem like you care about the community for the right reasons. Yeah, and I see it.
We'll figure out the speaking time thing. People are rifting right now. We're gonna have a more serious conversation about it.
Oh yeah.
We're not gonna do anything to prevent it.
Because we're what's her name is they're trying to do it at City Hall. They're trying to block protesting and stuff, and you're gonna see. Did you? Yeah, and you saw how people are up in arms. I mean, we're zooming down here. You're gonna have a nightmare in your hand if they're trying to restrict.
No intention of preventing public speech.
Because you understand, we're all free speech activists.
We'll figure this out at the next executive board meeting.
Okay. Yeah, because I think he broke the rules there, though. I do believe because it wasn't on the agenda, that he shouldn't have been trying to change the rules midstream. But I'm a stickler with that stuff. Yeah, I like the rules, yeah, being followed. But I do appreciate you, and I want to say that I've said it before, and I say it again. I do appreciate it. But I want you guys to get going on the like, I'm glad that you're going to do the at least listen to what's going on with the city, because we are at our wits' end with what's going on with this. Again, they've had like closures from June 1st. Now it's all the way through October. Right. Right, and plus now they have construction permits on top of it, for the street and the sidewalk. At the same time, they're having these public events. So how does that work? Are we doing construction? Are we doing public events? Because they're both being given at the same time. And that's beyond abnormal. It's a de facto street, vacation, which gives them a private street, even though the public can go through. There's a complaint now too, because they use their security, not their security, they have third-party security to harass anybody that goes through, even though they're legally allowed to go through. The permit does not restrict pedestrians. You are? Okay, so thank you, Coulter. I have you on record, right? You're gonna get to the bottom of it. Okay, guys, there we go. We got Coulter. Going to see him eventually one day. He's going to run for city council because he's got real heart. I believe that. Everything I've seen with him. And Jack, too. Oh, sorry, guys.
You want that in the back of the chair?
No, I'll just hold it.
Can I?
Hold it. I didn't even get pizza. That's okay. I'm not even hungry. I'm so like... Thank you, Jack. I appreciate what you did. Thank you. Thank you. Hi. I'm going to welcome the new people. Hi. I really like what you're having to say, too. Sorry, I film everything. You sound like you're really involved, wanting to get involved with the community. I hear you like you're having a lot of you saying like back and forth with community people. I love that. Thank you. Yeah, we need people who are in it for the right reasons. I congratulate you for being the new one. And if you're into human rights, we have a few of us I would really, I don't know what committee you're going to be on, but we're having some serious human rights issues with the Scientology, their workforce. Because I don't know if you're familiar with the Sea Org. These people have to work, it's their highest level of ministry, and they have to work, they sign a billion-year contract. They work 110 hours a week for $47 a week. And they're having them work, if they're working on their properties, it's a volunteer, that's fine. But once they start working on streets, which they are, because they have a permit to fix the streets, they are by law required to pay everybody the correct wages. And as far as we know, they are not. So we're going to be here, begging for help to find out to make sure these people are paid correctly. Nobody, because with the acting, they have studios, and they were forced to give their Sea Org members full union wages when they work now on the movies and videos. So that battle was won for those workers, but we want to win the battle for the workers that are doing the public works thing. So I'm going to, so.
I believe in fair wages and fair compensation for anyone that's doing work. I don't know as much about some of the things you mentioned, Scientology, but I will say that I watched every single episode.
There you go. Have you seen Going Clear at least? Okay, so there you go. So you have a beginning. Okay, because we're here. It's but right now they have such a grip on our city, and that's what is the corruption. Like I go to all these meetings now, I didn't realize how corrupt the city is. It's beyond corrupt at this point with public works and every different division. So that's what we're fighting right now. But so that's why we're coming to the ones that are affected by big, for you guys, Big Blue. So we're gonna be here bugging you, and. Thank you. Thank you. See, let's congratulate her. She's going to do, and you, like both of you. What's your name? Mike and Kat. Okay, I'm Joe. I go by Audit LA. Great to meet you. And so we're going to come back, guys. And I have my, we had 200 people watching this whole entire meeting. 2 hours in, it held 200 people. So people are invested. They want to know what's going on. Audit LA. Yeah, you can find, I'm on YouTube and I'm on TikTok, right now. A little bit on Twitter, not too much. But yeah, we're fighting for these. Well, hopefully it stays with YouTube. But thank you, congratulations. Okay, and all right, have a good night. Good night. Bye, bye guys. Okay, guys, that was a I wasn't gonna stay for the whole meeting, 'cause I have to like, if I'm gonna make the fire commission tomorrow, I have to leave at like, I don't know, 6 a.m. and I'm not a morning person, so I wanted to go home and be in bed by like 8 p.m. But the meeting, the meeting was so interesting, I think. Oh, I don't, I don't have a Pinterest. Oh my God, if somebody has an Audit LA Pinterest, it's not me. Thanks, guys. I'm excited. Like, not excited, but I mean, I feel hopeful that we are being listened to. So Coulter Gate, you heard him, and I'm going to put it out there. He said, excuse me, that we are going to get to the bottom of it. Jack, and then even Josh came around and said, okay, yeah, we're going. So they're going to get, yeah, we're making progress. And guys, and the new girl is like about the union wages and stuff. She's a union girl. Fair wages. I was once a union rep, so go ahead. I'll let you go in first. And so, yeah, we're gonna just keep nailing it. This is the one right here for this, and one, I guess, the one with the store. I would think.
Right.
And then, but I also want to mention that tomorrow, okay, the guy, Jeff Zamara, whatever, I don't know how, he owns this hotel, okay, and I mean, I know they're saying it's not a conflict of interest, whatever, they allow it, whatever, but he's on the bid, he's on a lot of things, he's a very big shot in this community, so he is on the bid, he's the head of the bid, which is like their Chamber of Commerce for this area. So of course he's saying, oh, well, it's not our job to do the planters, which I say, Balagna, because they're the business improvement district. And so if you're in an 8-day violation, that's not improvement. And there is an actual Scientologist, like full-blown, I'm a Scientologist on that board. That is, he said, tomorrow at 3. I want to hit all the meetings tomorrow at City Hall, and then I want to get on to that
Okay,
one.
we're on number 1, the elevator's not working.
Oh, man. Dang, are we stuck in the elevator?
Do you need to push a car in?
Is it? Is that what it is?
That's a funny looking thing.
Oh my gosh, I hate
It's
elevators.
green light or flashing. I hate that.
I'm like scared. I'm scared of elevators. Oh, is this it?
Yeah, I hate computers.
No, I hate elevators.
Oh, it's
I've been
computer.
stuck. But I remember when we got stuck down by City Hall, and we had the fire department had to call because he was outside, I was inside. Oh my gosh, that was so scary. So I hate elevators, guys. But I want to thank everyone. Man, that 200 people watching a neighborhood council meeting is amazing. Next Monday is the other neighborhood council. That's the one for. Hi. Hello. Yes, that's it. Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
You too.
See you next time.
Yep, got it. And so, yeah, tomorrow, like I said, there's fire. I know he was upset that I called him a captain. Well, I didn't know it was a captain or a chief, but I'm pretty sure it was a captain that I spoke to who told me, I believe it was a captain, who said that he disagrees with he thinks it's unsafe, the blockade, that it does slow things down, but he says it's over his head. So I guess this chief dude is the one who's over his head. So we're going to go over his head to the commission tomorrow. If worse comes to worse, if I can't make it in person, then I just have to do it on Zoom. Oh no, I can't do it on Zoom because they don't answer. I did put in my public comments, so it's too late, so I did do that. But I want to go in person. I want to go over his head. I'm sorry I'm yammering because I couldn't really talk there. But and I can't really read now, guys, so forgive me if I'm missing anything. It's any questions or anything or comments, because it's like dark and I'm zooming, and I went to the lady I was talking about, the farmer's market. I stopped there first. So I have a bag of eggs. I have a ton of strawberries. So I'm trying to navigate this with a bottle of water in my arm and Zoom and live streaming. Anyway, so that being said, I want to go over this chief's head because it's baloney. And thank you, Kelly, if you're still there, for holding him to the other side, because you caught that, and that was amazing. Thank you, all the speakers, Mona, DOA, Henri, Kelly, Yvonne. Thank you for showing up and speaking out. Yeah, it flustered them a little bit. They wanted to have You know, he was getting tired, whatever, but I had Coulter assure me that it's going to be okay. Because I told him we will, you know, basically, you saw what happened at City Hall. Expect that. Like, I'll get freaking Goat Puppet down there. They don't want Goat Puppet. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to tell Goat Puppet that that's what they're doing. And imagine shirt guy, the bad language guy. I don't even know what to call him. The guy that had, maybe I'll call him bleep guy because I have to edit all his comments because they're just too vulgar. So I'll just tell bleep guy. I'll tell shirt guy and Goat Puppet. Oh, and Braille guy. I'll tell Braille guy too. But they're trying to limit the speech of because they want to get out. They got out early. They have till 10. That's what their hard close. So a 2-hour meeting is nothing. You know, seriously. And if you don't want us here, then you know, really push to get this stuff resolved. They don't have power over it. Like they don't have the power, but they have the power to write a letter. They can, you know, do what they're doing, investigatory, find out what they need to do and write letters. That they can do. They can be a supportive voice. And that's all we're asking of them, you know. I mean, I know their limits, you know. I mean, I know exactly their limits. I'm sorry, I'm going on and on and on, but I can't read it. It's a really bumpy street too. But yeah, so I was really disappointed with, and Coulter knew. He came over because he knows what I'm about. Like, he knows. So yeah, it's not going to be good. And I'm getting sick of LAPD too not showing up. They have to show up for the community. I don't care if they don't let you, like Slow White has to take all the abuse. Oh, well, you sign up for the job, you're going to take the abuse, but the community still needs you to show up. And Slow White, I know you're not watching me. I wish you were, because I'm actually going to give you some credit. That senior, he shows up at all the meetings. He does. I mean, like, I know last month he didn't. I guess it probably got a little bit much. But whatever meeting he's supposed to be at, I see him at. I'm going to give him credit. In that level, he's a good slow. I mean, he might be corrupt as all heck, but he does right for the community in that sense. You know, I give him credit. But for all the months that we've been coming here, and they have 3 divisions that they deal with, and not one has ever sent a senior lead, is utterly ridiculous. And to me, it's a slap in the face of the board. And I'm like, as annoying, I know these boards are annoying, but I'm extremely supportive of neighborhood councils. I'm always going to lift them up. I'm going to call them out on their crap. I'm going to call out the bad, the ones that aren't doing right by the community, like hi, good, how you doing? Like Mr. Blue Shirt. And I'm going to call out the ones who are doing good, and I think they deserve, because, they are volunteering their time. I'm sorry, guys, I'm going on and on, but couldn't really talk, so it's like it's all coming out. Like the ones that are doing their time, and they don't really know what they're doing. No one gives them there's no here, this is how you do it. You know what I mean? They don't really know what they're doing. So that's why we're here to help them figure it out, and to teach them. And, and then hopefully they get it. And they are already, I've seen both boards improving tremendously. So I get really excited when I see improvement.
The chief did not agree with you, did he?
Oh, well, the chief is corrupt then, because if you can't, he could not answer that about it not being slowed down. It is absolutely slowed down. And he did not say he could get his ladder truck, and he would need a ladder truck if something happened on the 4th floor. So the chief is going to get his redress tomorrow.
Wait, he said a truck company could get through, right?
But it would be slowed down. He said he did say he would have to zigzag. Like he said he would have to zigzag. Okay, well, if your house was on fire, do you want a fire truck that has to zigzag and slow down to get to you? No. So no, absolutely not. Sorry, guys. I'm like, I haven't even read what's going on, And so no, like they're going to bow before we do. I'll tell you that much. They will bow before we do. Is this the right one? Because for that, and I'm going to call that chief. I don't care who he's like. Oh, I'm not a captain. I'm a chief. Okay, well, there's your ego right there. Because so what if I called you a captain? I mean, the president said he was a captain. Who cares? Like, you're just so ego driven. But so he's going to be dealt with, because I'm sorry, if my house is on that street, I'd be pissed that you're saying, oh, I can get through, but you have to zigzag and you have to kind of, he goes, you have to maneuver it. I don't want you having to maneuver through anything if my house is on fire. You understand? What?
You cannot, period, get through the fountain side.
No, you can't get through the fountain side. Right, and like Kelly brought that point up. So Win Kelly, right, and he's the one. I didn't get that there was an event. I didn't get to see that side. Well, I'm assuming you're you looked at both sides. And guys, I'm gonna lose you probably, so if it stays on, we stay on. If I forget, so let me thank everyone now. Okay, I want to thank everyone for being there. I am like blown away that there was 200 people 2 hours into a neighborhood council meeting. You guys are rock stars. I want to thank my mods who always have, my back on these and this stuff. And I know there was some like a lot of trolling or whatever. And me, I'm like the easy one. Like I don't mind some trolling. I absolutely don't mind it. But if it's getting disruptive, then I'm thankful for all my mods that are on there to to make sure that goes smooth. I want to thank those who gifted, those who gave, support in any way. I want to thank all of you, and because I think I'm going to lose you, so I want to say that first. I want to say thank you, everyone, and then oops, shoot, hold on. There we go. You're doing your zoomies. He's like a 5-year-old sometimes. He's doing his zoomies, which is fine. Anyway, so all right, my rant continues while I have you. So I am so annoyed with that battalion chief. He was so arrogant, so rude, so nasty, and he's about to have a wake-up call. He's the new dude. Well, okay, we'll see. Because I don't like it. I don't like, I'm pissed off that you're saying that you had to zigzag, which he knows. You cannot tell me that does not slow it down. And if there's a trauma, you only have a golden hour. And that's what, so how are you going to negate the golden hour because you want to give into Scientology's, go ahead, what they want, because they just don't want us there. No, that's unacceptable. Like, I am so frustrated. And not frustrated. I don't mean frustrated. I'm frustrated with the corruption. You know what I mean? Not going to the meetings. I know people always like worry about me. Like, are you frustrated? No, I enjoy going to these meetings. I enjoy speaking up and like keeping them in line. Whatever. I love it. It's like what upsets me is the corruption. The guy when he's trying to restrict their speech, that pisses me off. The chief like trying to say that, oh well, Scientology wants these barriers, so if we have to slow it down to get to your house that's burning down, that's just what you have to do because Scientology wants this. There's 20. My rig is 20 foot, and I can zigzag. So it's supposed to be a direct 20 foot straight from end to end, not a zigzag 20 foot. But he's counting the zigzag as a 20 foot lane, which is ludicrous. Everybody, please write and bombard freaking fire the LAFD to say a zigzag lane is not a 20 foot lane. Sorry. Okay, I'll relax. I'll take a deep breath. Yes, I agree. Detective Aludo's back up. The highest form of protesting is attending these meetings. And that was, Station 35, the new battalion chief. I don't remember his last name. He was there last month, and to me, he seems like I don't know, like an arrogant, I'm going to be nice, because, but I'm going to just keep going after it, like, no. It is not okay to sit there and slow down. He knows you can't tell me that he's not slowed down. And I know he would never be able, I don't believe at all he would be able to get the ladder truck through. And as a 4 to 8 story building, you might need the ladder truck get through there. So, okay, guys, I'm going to calm down. But, so anyway, let me try to catch up with chat so I can calm down. Take a deep breath. And he essentially said he drove through the small opening for pedestrians if they bothered to have one street. And he didn't even check the other side. And the good point, Kelly, was that, even just with the planners and the equipment, getting the equipment through, that it's not only that it's not ADA compliant, it is a fire lane, and, and that they're supposed to be able to do it. So that was, a great point. Everyone that spoke made great points, I'm really, really grateful that you guys were there making them. Even though it probably annoyed the heck out of them because they're like, oh man, now I can't get home and finish reading my Kindle. Oh well. I'm going to call them out like with that too. Like, I'm glad that what's his name, Coulter came and said, "Oh, don't worry, we're not going to get rid of free speech," because he freaking knew. He saw the writing on the
I
wall.
like that guy, he's anti-development.
Yeah, and and then man, we'll get streets there. Oh man, I was so mad with that. Well, yeah, you know what? That's a great point too, Hobbit. That he could get the truck in. He's not going to get the ladder truck in though. I don't think the ladder will go in at all. He could get the small one in, but zigzag. But it's going to be slowed down, which is going to mean, would you want the fire truck to be slowed down if it was your house? I'm sure he would not. But yeah, but how are you going to get it out? But okay, but you get the truck in, then you know what you need to get it out.
Slows it down, back up, they could do it, but the other side on Fountain, forget it.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to really back up that truck without hitting it.
It would be slow, but they could do it.
Okay, but you're slowing up in an emergency situation. Ambulance would be slowed up too. I mean, I guess an ambulance could go into the parking lot and turn around. But still, you're slowing up emergency services. Wait, are you chartered account because you wrote audit? I don't know what that means. Yeah, well, they right now they do have, they don't really need any more of the special event permits. So for them, if they don't, I think they saw the writing on the wall, it's not going to last forever. So they now have 2 Permit A permits to the, almost the end of the year, to the end of December. So that means they can still shut it down. But the reason they want to do the event permits is because the construction permits have even more restrictions. They have to open up 1 lane to traffic at all times.
It's coming.
And then they have to open up the entire street through certain hour, through like rush hour and stuff. So, and they cannot restrict pedestrians at all. So that's why they want to keep the both permit scam going, because the event permits completely restrict vehicles. Where the Permit A construction does not completely restrict vehicles. And so they're hedging their bet. So they have the one, but they keep pushing the other. So it's a complete scam on this city. I'm glad that they're starting to see it. They're not dumb, they're seeing it. So I'm glad that, so we're going to get a letter, I think, or something. They're looking into it. So I am so excited. That was the best outcome. The LAPD can't claim that they are about community policing if they don't attend neighborhood council meetings. Exactly, Palabra. You are 100% right. And they have, it's not like the other neighborhood council, the Central Hollywood. They only have Hollywood division to deal with, so they have Slow White. That's it. And he does his job with that. I'm going to give him props for that. When you do right, I'm going to say it. But here they are within 3 different jurisdictions: Hollywood, Northeast, and I don't know, I forget the other one. So they have like 4 different slows that are in that area, and they can't get one of them there. It's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. Yeah, and people have the right to ask questions. Like, people want to know what's going on. A lot of times the public, they're like, they hear something going on, and they want to know, they want answers, and they have a right to them. He needs to pay his, he swears that was just a troll. It's like, I don't know, she was pretty convincing. Either way, that was so freaking funny. Is Fat Grammy here? I'm going to probably guess no, because she's on the East Coast. I'm going to guess it's past her bedtime. But that was so funny. And with White, he's such a nervous guy. He's so nervous. Wonder why. Yeah, Cheryl, thank you. That's sweet. Yeah, you know what? I think we had a lot of people show up. That's a lot. And I know I wish more in general, not just on this topic. I would love to see, just in general. I agree with you. I would love it. But for us, I think we had a great turnout. How many of us spoke? 5? Wait, 1, 2, yeah. 5, right? Wait, 1. I can't even count, right? 5 or 6, right? And so that was just amazing. So, with the door closing on me. So I was like really, really happy. So I'm probably going to lose you guys.
Oh, well, that's
Sit down, man. Take a load off.
Crazy Love, I don't know your email. You can, if you want to email me, it's audit.in.la@gmail.com. Yeah, it was great. I mean, we had, everyone brought different points, and it was all great. Everyone, I loved it. So thank you, Yvonne, thank you, Mona, thank you, Henri, thank you, DOA, thank you, Kelly. Did I miss anyone? Oh, wow, JB, thank you. Oh, so great, Catchy Love. Thank you for your being such a strong advocate. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, JB. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Okay, yeah, anyone can send me emails. But thank you guys. I know I'm probably going to lose you, but hey, we can chat till then. I can answer chat. And so, all night, YRB, and thank you. Thank you for all you're doing. You're one smart cookie.
I like those if you put them on the bus if you had to.
My city council. Oh, your city council meetings tomorrow. Crazy Love is Love. Awesome. Are you gonna? If you're gonna live stream, I'm gonna try to catch it. What time? Is it at night or is yours in the morning? Because I'm gonna be all day probably at City Hall. So, what time's yours? Pacific Standard Time. I'd like to. You did great the last time. I watched you last time. You did wonderful. I don't know. It's audit audit.in.la@gmail.com.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you, Missy Jean. Have a good night. Yes, thank you, Jane.